And this is what Storm League players are made of, right? Because it's like, if you're in the HGC, you're dead set on winning. This is the stuff you notice, okay? It's like, what the hell is this, right? Sidestep King! We picked a 2-man that will always win a 2v2. So if they're gonna lose 2v2, then the only way they can win top is if they bring more than 2 top. And if they bring more than 2 top, then bottom has numbers advantage, so bottom should be able to win whenever there's more than 2 top, right? And we have to give the point. So the theory behind this comp already is we should never lose the Zerg wave if no one misplays dramatically, right? Because they have no way of winning. If they send 3 people top, and we have to give top shrine, then this point should be ours for sure, because then we have a 3v2 here. If they don't send 3 people or more top, then we're gonna win top, because we're stronger than they are in a 1v2, we're stronger than they are in a 2v2. Like here, this is not good, right? They're losing the 3v3, and like, fine, right? It's an even fight. You win some, you lose some. That's fine. But now there's 3 top. They should instantly get this point as soon as the Sylvanas gets back from the grave, which is right now. So right now, they should instantly be getting this point because they're capping top, right? And we can't hold top anymore. This is the scenario I just talked about. There's 3 top, we can't hold it. You need to get bottom if there's 3. You're 3v2, right? And this is what Storm League players are made of, right? Because it's like, if you're in the HGC, you're dead set on winning. This is the stuff you notice, okay? It's like, what the hell is this, right? We walk off the point even though we had man advantage because no one cares enough to actually get the Zerg. Minor mistake, you might say, but that single minor mistake cost us 52% of the Zerg, right? It's like, it's stuff like this. If I was the Blaze, I don't want to like flame him or anything, but it's like, you gotta get into the mentality of what I'm thinking and what the potatoes are not thinking. 7 versus 6, we all got out alive, right? They showed 5 people bottom. We're a full HP Blaze. What do we do? What do we do? We literally already cleared their wave, right? What do we do when we're Blaze? Come on, chat. What's your next move here if you're Blaze? If you're main tank Blaze, you have 3 teammates recalling. There's no wave here because we just cleared it. What's your next move? Yes, you go to the camp. Exactly. Because they have 5 people bottom or talent tier up, there's almost no way they would be like 5 people here. If they're 5 people here, they're gonna miss a wave. And even if you die, it's okay because they missed this wave, right? There's almost no chance they're gonna be 5 people here because they just failed the kill attempt, right? So Blaze should be on this camp right now. What does he do? Runs bottom, runs top, runs bottom, runs top, runs bottom, runs sideways, runs top, checks the globe minion, runs top, runs bottom. And what am I doing? You know, it's like, I'm like, well, we need to do camps right now. And then I'm like, well, June's not gonna clear this ever by himself, right? So I pinged this camp because my team is not on the camp. I'm like, you guys need to be doing the camp. Why are you not on the camp, right? They know they need to be doing the camp. This team has a lot more Master GM players than my team. And my team is mainly just me and June, right? And now we're like 10 seconds late on this camp, so we should have done this before they did this, but instead they did this one before we did this one. So now we have to respond to them instead of them responding to us. You know, it's like so many miniature things that like a normal player will never see, right? And it just all snowballs, right? It's like the same thing Champ is doing here. Remember in game, if you saw this moment, he's portaling into our camp. He can't do this if we were ahead of them. We would be pressuring them. We would be pressuring them on this camp instead of them pressuring us on this camp because we should have been ahead. But he's allowed to do this, and this is another like more GM mentality, right? They're not gonna invade this, but he's like pressuring us, and we got scared here, and he's like slowing us down. So it's like, there are some GM players that can see some or all of this. Probably not all, but you can definitely see the difference between like a GM player and a Master player and a Diamond player, right? Alright, what should you be doing right now? What should you be doing right now, okay? We both have 1 point each. You know they have 4 people top. They just killed us. What do you think they're gonna do now, okay? It's either boss or they're gonna go for this point, right? It's not rocket science. Just think about what the enemy team's gonna do. It's not rocket science, right? You know what you should be doing? You should be basing what you do off of what they do. So if it's god obvious that they're gonna do boss or they're gonna do this point, then what should you be doing? I'll tell you what, it's not sitting here waiting to die. because this is literally in their rotate path on a 5v3. What I would do is I would back off this point because I know they're coming here. I would either go 3 people here, and then as soon as you see like 1 or 2 people here, you just put Blaze on this point, right? You just contest it. A lot of time in Storm League, people don't do the right thing. It's gonna be like no one on this point, and then you can just stall it that way, right? You need to be either here, or you need to be like maybe here, checking the boss. So if they start boss, maybe you put Blaze here if you want to contest. Don't want to contest, you get the point. If they're doing boss, they get boss, you get point. At least you don't get boss Zerg, right? So now we need to do this camp, okay? And do you see me? Do you see what I see? I see no one on the freaking map. That's what I see. We're ahead of them. We need to do either this camp or this camp. Now, if I was the Blaze, I would be here, right? Because I'm leading the rotations. This is what I was saying earlier. I don't want to blame him for this because I always lead the rotations because just people don't know how to rotate. They don't have the game knowledge to do this, right? But like, theoretically, I should be back here clearing this wave, which he was clearing, and he should already be over here because he's the tank and he's the one that can face check these, right? But I knew they were in here. I knew they could be in here. I just assumed my whole team knows, right? There's no vision. The Blaze is here. Like, do you see me? I literally stay here and then I go back. I'm like, there's no one on the map. You can't. Is it not obvious there's no one on the map? Hello, anyone? Like, and then woo! But this is what I'm talking about. It should be the Blaze that's leading the rotates. It should not be the Blaze that is like last to rotate because he's clearing a minion camp, right? Like, and since he's not, we run into situations like this. Alright, so here's the other thing, right? It's like, this was the last thing I was talking about. And it basically sums up why I'm doing all the things that I'm doing, right? So anchoring this bush is good if you think they're gonna invade. We saw they're not gonna invade. And then the Blaze like went down here to try to clear, and then I think he realized he wasn't supposed to be down there. And then we saw them do this, which would indicate that most of them are probably around this area, right? He's doing the camp with us instead of checking the boss, instead of anchoring like this bush, right? It's just, I don't know. It's hard to explain. It's like, in the first place, you should never go down to bottom wave. If you know what you're doing as a tank, you don't ever clear the bottom wave when the Sylvanas is already going there, you know? Anchoring this bush was good. Dropping the anchor was bad. They could have came this way and killed us, you know? And there would have been nothing we could do about it because for some reason he left this bush. And then after they cleared this, they can be doing this boss instantly. He could have portaled them all here or just walked here, right? And they could have gotten the free boss. So it's like, he's not doing his job. This is what we see. He's already given up, or he's just not good enough to maintain, right? And this is what I'm dealing with, and I'm trying to make the best of it. This is what we see right now, you know? So it's like, if they're here, we die. If they're here, we lose. They can be anywhere, but we don't know, because this guy is clearing the freaking same wave the Sylvanas is. That's why you see like the good players, the GM players, like you see this, you see why they're doing this, is because he's not doing his job. It's because we're freaking terrified. Because we know they could be here, we're dead. They could be here, we lose, we can't do anything about that. The only safe place is here. So we're all hiding in here. And I'm like, well, I don't want to be near that bush. I'm just gonna, someone has to cap this, but my Blaze is down here. So I'm gonna stand on this very edge because this is the safest place I can be. I don't know. Damn, there was a trap in there I walked into. I definitely walked into too many traps this game though. Pepe trap. Should not have walked into that trap. And then he's like, by the way, Sylvanas was bottom. I'm like, no shit, Sylvanas was bottom. No shit, Sylvanas was bottom. Oh yeah, we need to fight this too, because they were 19 and 80%, right? We don't fight this, obviously we're gonna lose. They're gonna hit 20, Zerg's coming up, they can take boss with 20. Right? They could do whatever they want. Like, this was the last fight that we had any chance of winning. So we did need to fight this fight. But I shouldn't have walked into a trap.